Level 1. The launch. You are 26 years old. You have been in crypto since you were 20. Most people your age are still trying to understand it. You built a wallet at 20. You wrote your first smart contract at 21. By 22, you were consulting for companies that had been in the space longer than you, but understood it less. You are not bragging. You are just aware of the gap between what you know and what most people know. That gap is the only thing you have ever really owned. You have watched 3 exchanges collapse from the outside. You watched one get hacked because their security was built by people who did not understand what they were protecting. You watched 2 fail because the people running them understood the technology, but not the business. You sat with each collapse, and you took it apart in your head piece by piece. You know exactly what they did wrong. You know you can build something better. That is not ambition. It is just observation. You are at a crypto conference in Miami on a Thursday in March. The convention center is loud and cold and full of people handing each other business cards. You do not have a business card. You are walking the floor alone when you see Marcus at a booth in the back. He is not presenting anything. He is just standing there with a laptop open showing a live order book. You watch him for a minute from across the room. The way the engine is running is unlike anything you have seen. You walk over. You introduce yourself. He looks up, and you both know within about 30 seconds that the conversation is not going to be short. You talk for 4 hours. You miss 2 panels you paid to attend. You eat bad conference food standing at a high table, and you do not notice what it tastes like. Marcus builds trading engines. He has been doing it for 3 years independently, and he is the best at it you have ever seen. By the time the conference floor closes, you have already started planning. You rent a small office in Miami 6 weeks later. It costs more than you can afford. The chairs are from a garage sale on Craigslist. The air conditioning breaks in July, and you leave it broken for 3 weeks because the money is going into the build. You and Marcus work 18-hour days. You eat burritos from the place across the street every single night for 4 months. You argue about almost every decision. You make most of them right. The exchange goes live in month 4. It is clean. The interface is fast. The fees are the lowest in the market. The security is real because you built it knowing exactly where the others failed. You sit in the office the night it goes live, and you watch the first trade process at 11:47 p.m., and you feel something you have never felt before in your life. Month 1, $200,000 in total trades. Month 2, $800,000. By month 6, you are processing $40 million a day. You stand outside the office on the Miami street at 2 a.m. on a Tuesday, and you look up at the building, and you feel it again. That feeling. You built this. It works. People trust it because it deserves to be trusted. That is true when you think it. You are not performing. You believe it completely. You hire 17 people. You move to a real office in Brickell with real chairs and working air conditioning and a coffee machine that cost more than your first car. You fly to New York to meet with banks. You fly to Washington to meet with regulators. You walk into those meetings in a suit you bought at a department store in the Miami airport, and you answer every question they ask, and you leave every meeting with a follow-up scheduled because you are the real thing and they can tell. You are building something legitimate, something that works, something the space has needed for a long time. You know what the others did wrong. You are not doing any of it. Marcus knows it too. You can see it in the way he works. He does not cut corners. He does not ship until it is right. You found the right person at that conference booth in March. That is also true. You hold on to all of it. The exchange is real. Marcus is real. The $40 million a day is real. Everything you have built is exactly what it appears to be. You want that on the record, even if the record is only in your own head. That is true when you say it. You believe it completely, because at this point it is completely true. Level 2. The door. Month 14. The market drops hard for 3 weeks straight. It does not touch the exchange's revenue. The exchange is profitable. The problem is that the profit is locked inside growth. New servers, new staff, new offices in 2 cities you open too fast. The operating accounts are thin. There is a payment due in 4 days that cannot wait, and the operating accounts do not have it. You are in a bank meeting room in New York on a Tuesday afternoon. The banker across the table is polite and careful. He tells you the loan takes 3 weeks to process. 3 weeks is not 4 days. You thank him and you shake his hand and you walk out of the building onto the street and you stand there for a minute in the cold. Then you book a flight back to Miami. You drive for a while first. You are not going anywhere specific. Then you park in a parking garage on Brickell Avenue. Not because you had anywhere to go, because you needed to sit somewhere quiet and think. The garage is on the third level. There is one other car in the row. The level is low and the fluorescent lights hum, and the city is outside and none of it is in the garage with you. You have $8 million in user deposits sitting in the custody wallet. The custody wallet is not yours. You know this. You have always known this. The deposits belong to the users. The wallet holds them. You hold the wallet. You have built the entire system around the principle that those two things stay separate. The number in the wallet and the number on the user's screens are the same number because you built it so they would always be the same number. You move the $8 million. Just this once. 2 weeks maximum. You will replace it from operating revenue before anyone notices because the operating revenue will cover it in 2 weeks and no one will ever know. You put it back in 11 days. Nothing happened. Nobody noticed. The number on the screen never changed because you replaced it before anyone looked. The users never knew. The payment went through. The operating accounts recovered. You close the door. You tell yourself it is closed for good. You know where it is now. That is the problem. Before that night, you knew the door existed in theory. After that night, you know it opens, and you know it closes again, and you know the combination. The theory is gone. What you have now is experience. 6 months later, you move $40 million. Different situation. Same logic. The operating cash flow is fine, but there is an opportunity, a strategic partnership that requires a larger reserve than the accounts currently hold. You move it. You replace it in 3 weeks. Fine. Then $200 million. That one takes 6 weeks to replace, and there is one morning in between where the gap makes you feel something specific in your chest. But it comes back. It always comes back. You are managing it. That is the word you use. Managing. The word does a lot of work for you. You hire Claire around this time. You meet her at a restaurant in Brickell for the CFO interview. She is sharp and she is direct and she asks the right questions. You answer all of them honestly, because at this point the answers are still mostly clean. The gap exists, but it is closed. The custody wallet is whole. The accounts match. You hire her because she is the best person for the job, and because the job needs to be done properly, and because you are building something real. The exchange keeps growing. Month 18, $200 million in daily trades. Month 24, $800 million. You open an office in Singapore. You open one in London. You sponsor a conference in Miami, and your name is on the building, and people take photographs in front of it. Marcus is still building. He does not know about the parking garage. You have not told him. You have not told anyone. You are not going to. There is nothing to tell. The gap is closed. You managed it. That is the whole story, and the whole story is over. The gap is closed. The wallet is whole. The door is shut. You tell yourself this because it is true. The gap is closed, and the wallet is whole, and the door is shut, and there is no reason to tell anyone about 11 days that are already over. You believe it because it is true, but you still know where the door is. Level 3. The structure. You are on a conference stage in Miami. You are wearing a suit that fits now because you bought it properly this time. The crowd is large. A senator shakes your hand before you go on. He thanks you for bringing innovation to American finance. You shake back and you smile and you say the right things. You know how to do this now. Inside, you know that $1.8 billion of customer deposits are currently deployed in things that are not custody. The crowd applauds. You wave. You walk off the stage. You check your phone in the corridor. The gap is $1.8 billion today. You put the phone away and go back to shake more hands. You process $2 billion a day. You have 400 employees across 6 offices. The exchange is the 3rd largest in the world by volume. Every number is real except the one that matters most. You build a sister company. You do it in a law firm boardroom in New York with 3 lawyers and an accountant who is very good at his job. The sister company borrows from the exchange. The loans are documented. The interest payments are scheduled. On paper, it looks like a transaction between 2 separate businesses. You own both. The lawyers know this. The accountant knows this. Nobody says it out loud because saying it out loud is not what this meeting is for. The sister company takes the borrowed funds and invests them. Early-stage crypto projects. Real estate in 3 cities. A minority stake in a private equity fund. Things that are illiquid. Things that will not return cash quickly if you need cash quickly. You know this when you make each investment. You do it anyway because the returns look right on paper, and the paper is what the auditors will see. Claire comes to your office in Miami on a Wednesday morning. She has 3 printed pages in her hand. She puts them on your desk without sitting down first. She asks about the intercompany transfer schedule. She asks why the liquidity ratios in the subsidiary filings do not match the figures in the consolidated report. She asks the questions in the order she has prepared them, and she does not look away while she asks. You answer for 40 minutes. Everything you say is technically accurate. You use the right words in the right order. The words are true in the way that words can be true, while the picture they make is not the whole picture. When you finish, she looks at you for a long time without speaking. Then she picks up the 3 pages and walks out of your office. She files the accounts 3 days later. She never asks again. You do not know what she knows. You do not ask. You tell yourself she is satisfied. The accounts are filed. The exchange moves forward. One Tuesday morning, Marcus doesn't come in. His desk is clean. Everything personal is gone. No message. No call. No email. A courier arrives at the office that afternoon with a resignation letter. 1 line. No reason given. You read it twice. Then you fold it and put it in your jacket pocket, and you walk to the open doorway, and you look out at the Miami street below. You built the exchange with him. He built it with you. You argued about every decision together. You fixed the broken air conditioning together. You were there when it worked for the first time. Now his desk is empty, and the letter has 1 line and no reason. You go back to your desk. You check the gap. It is $900 million today. You check it every morning now. From your desk. From the back of a car on the way to a meeting. From hotel lobbies in Singapore and London when you travel. You have built a habit around a number. Some mornings the number is manageable. Some mornings it is not. The mornings when it is not are the ones where you stand in the hotel lobby for a little longer than you need to before putting the phone away. You have been checking the number every morning for 2 years. You have told yourself it is fine every morning for 2 years. Most mornings it is fine. The fine mornings are the ones that keep the other mornings from adding up to something you cannot look at directly. You are the 3rd largest exchange in the world. You have a senator who shakes your hand. You have offices on 3 continents. You have 400 employees who do not know the number you check every morning. Marcus's desk is empty. The number today is $900 million. You put the phone down. You go to your next meeting. The exchange moves forward. It always moves forward. Level 4. The run. You are at a waterfront restaurant on a Thursday evening. The table is outside. The water is behind you. You ordered something you have not touched. Your phone is face down on the table, and you have been leaving it face down for 20 minutes because you need one dinner where you are not checking the number. Then you turn it over. There is an alert. A large crypto fund that holds significant assets on your exchange has just announced it is liquidating its entire position. The announcement is about their portfolio strategy. It has nothing to do with you. You read it twice. The fund is one of your largest depositors. When they move, other people notice. You put the phone face down again. You sit for a moment. Then you pay the bill and you leave. The withdrawals start that night. $200 million in requests by Friday morning. $400 million by Saturday night. $600 million by Sunday. Your available liquidity is $340 million. You process everything you can. You keep the withdrawal page running through Friday and into Saturday, and you tell the team to keep it running. By Sunday night, the queue is longer than the liquidity. You pause withdrawals. Technical issues. That is what the status page says. Technical issues. The pause lasts 6 hours before a journalist writes 1 word. Insolvency. You put out a statement from the headquarters on Sunday night. The exchange is solvent. Processing will resume shortly. You stand in the press conference room in the headquarters building with the lights on and the cameras, and you say the words. You say the exchange is solvent. You say processing will resume shortly. You say it clearly. You say it the way you have learned to say things on stages and in conference wings. It is the last statement you put out. A forensic accounting firm arrives on Monday morning. They spend 3 weeks in the offices. They go through every transfer, every wallet, every entity, every document from the sister company. You watch them from the glass conference room. You watch them carry boxes of files to the tables. You watch them set up the extra monitors. You already know what they are going to find. The gap is $3.1 billion. The sister company's investments are worth 40 cents on the dollar in a down market. The real estate is locked. The early-stage projects are worth almost nothing. The gap between what the screen showed and what the wallet held has been there for 2 years. The last morning you checked the number, it was $1.4 billion. You had told yourself it was manageable. The word managing had been doing a lot of work. You believed it would come back. It always came back. It did not come back this time. Danny has had a file on your exchange for 18 months. It started with a flag from a compliance officer at a partner bank. The intercompany transfers between the exchange and the sister company looked unusual from the outside. Danny built the case slowly and carefully. He does not move before he has everything. He is the kind of investigator who waits until the picture is complete and then moves all at once. He arrests you on a Tuesday morning outside your Miami apartment building. It is 7:15 a.m. You are still in the clothes you slept in. You have not slept properly in 4 days. Danny is standing outside with 2 others when you come out. He says your name. He says you are under arrest. He reads you the charges. The street is ordinary around it. The building behind you is the same building it was yesterday. Nothing looks like what it is. Your lawyer stands in a federal courtroom in New York 3 days later. He argues you never intended to defraud anyone. He argues the collapse was caused by a market event outside your control. He argues the gap was a liquidity mismatch that could have been resolved with more time. He is a good lawyer, and he makes the argument well. The prosecutor stands up. She says the gap was $3.1 billion. She says you checked it every morning. She says you stood in a press conference room on Sunday night and told the world the exchange was solvent. She says you knew when you said it that it was not. The courtroom is very quiet. You built something real. That is still true. The exchange was real. Marcus built the engine that made it work. The first trade at 11:47 p.m. was real. The daily volume was real. The senator shaking your hand was real. The gap was real too. You checked it every morning and you told yourself it was fine and you moved forward because the exchange always moved forward and you believed it would keep moving until the morning it didn't. That morning was Sunday. Hey guys, hope you enjoyed this one. If you did, share it, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next level.